YouTube, welcome back for some more Valorant. Today we're taking a dive into the story of Fnatic. So this video is outdated by 2 years. This video is also made by Command. I'll leave a link to the original video in the description down below. The only reason I mentioned that it's outdated is because I know NRG and Fnatic had a crazy ass championship match for this year. It was very clear. It was crazy. Fnatic almost pulled the reverse sweep, and it's wild. So I had to mention that because you know it's not gonna include those kind of moments. But nonetheless, I'm excited to dive into the story. How they're from Chokers to champion. So other than that, sit back and let's get to it.
VCT Lock-In was undeniably the greatest Valorant tournament to date. We started out with 32 teams in a single elimination gauntlet, and as the matches played out, we got to see storylines from across the world come together and be redefined in real time. The arena was electric, and with every moment mattering, the tension was as high as it's ever been. Teams were desperate to prove they'd made the right moves in the off-season, but only one could finish on top. Whoever won would have a long journey filled with high-pressure moments, and would have to change every narrative along the way. This is the story of that team, and how they won VCT Lock-In. Coming into 2023 and the start of Valorant franchising, Fnatic wanted to make changes to push for a trophy. Their 2022 squad was good, but didn't quite have enough firepower to challenge at the very top of international tournaments. And looking at the roster, there wasn't much debate on who they'd replace. Boaster had been on Fnatic since the beginning, IGLing the team to their only Grand Finals appearance against Sentinels in Reykjavik 2021. He gave the team a level of fun and personality, and Fnatic without Boaster wouldn't really feel like Fnatic, so he stayed. Another obvious keeper was Durka, the star duelist and consistently top performing player for their team. He clearly had the talent to become one of the best in the world, and at some point in 2021, he probably was. And the final player Fnatic decided to keep for this year was Alfaya, a Turkish wonder kid who was scouted by Mini in 2022. Ever since an incredible ace on Raze in his first match, he put up great performances on a multitude of roles, so it only made sense to keep him for franchising. Mystic and Enzo played well for Fnatic, but were the weaker links on the team and where it could be improved without a complete restructure. They were dropped, which left 2 slots open to make this team a European powerhouse. And so they did. The first new addition was Leo, former player of Guild and a clear standout on that roster. His initiator play was already formidable, being regarded as the best Sova in Europe by many, but with a top level team around him, his level of play could rise even higher. Speaking of incredible initiator players, Chronicle was next to be added to the roster, a trophy-winning, hyper-flexible, experienced player with 2 Grand Finals already under his belt. He would bring the squad from great to a genuine super team. And there you had it, the European super team that clearly had the potential to be the best in the world. But could they actually do it? A few months later, and it was time to find out. VCT Lock-In was the first tournament in the Valorant franchising era, with all 32 franchise teams in attendance. But with so many teams, only one format was possible, a single elimination bracket where if you lost, you were out. No second chances.
One and done.
Not only that, but the bracket was completely randomly seeded, as there was no previous data to base any type of seeding on. So for some teams, they'd play a slightly weaker opponent in the first round, and for others, they'd play a team touted to win the tournament. Fnatic ended up with the latter, as they'd be playing against another stacked team who happened to be one of the crowd favourites, Sentinels. But before we get into the matches, I do have to give a shout out to the sponsor for today's video, Surfshark VPN. If you're watching like Encrypt Blocker, our reputation, and with just 2 internet security. Out of every match in the first round of games, this was universally seen as the best and most exciting. On one side, you had the super team of Fnatic looking to prove themselves, and on the other, the clout giants of Sentinels. And when Sentinels are playing, you can guarantee a boatload of viewers. But there was another factor that gave this match even more tension, something less obvious than the sheer caliber of the rosters. For Fnatic, it was an opportunity for revenge. The last time they had played Sentinels was in the Grand Finals of Masters Reykjavik, the closest the team had ever come to a trophy. They got swiftly 3-0'd in that series, leaving them broken-hearted and without a Grand Finals appearance since. Despite winning that series, Sentinels hadn't done much on the international stage since then either, so both teams were looking to assert their dominance by defeating an old foe. As promised, hundreds of thousands of people watched on to see how these 2 super teams would match up at Lock-In, but it wasn't the close game many were expecting.
It's on Def to try and make something happen here. No pressure anywhere else.
Almost a bit Fnatic dominated.
Durka. Already getting some lovely damage down onto them.
Durka.
Right through the wall. It's 3 kills in the round for Durka. What a way to set things up, and nobody dropping on the side of Fnatic. That's a Prime Gaming flawless. And then over to Pancada. He's got his ultimate, so he's going to be able to get a free plant now onto A.
1v3. Can he do it? He's got a lot of time to threaten a reposition. He's going to smoke both
I quite like
Spawn
this.
and A-Link.
It's really smart. He's just
Right,
putting a
Roman.
bunch of misinformation into it, but this fight now by Leo, meeting him into short.
It's
moving
massive.
The first kill.
It's massive. Takes it down to a 1v2, but he's giving away.
He's gonna get the
What is
nah.
that?
Chronicle so far ahead of his teammate. There's no trade in sight from Alfia. Now the paranoia. Waiting for the tap of the spike. And there it is. Rips
This
his
is
way
fine.
across a full blind. Another tap from Alfia, but still biting, waiting. Smoke
Still on
ready
a
and
spike.
waiting. Wide swings of it, Alfia. So calm and patient in the clutch. Ends up to do. Paranoia rips his way across, including the stun as well.
Yeah,
Finding a
Fnatic
way-
actually
no!
First
All
map?
just being met pound for pound.
There's a cookie
match for
Sentinels
match.
on first map.
Crossfire.
Is those- the robot shooting your dead body is a crazy touch, not gonna lie.
Just far too potent from Fnatic.
Fnatic ran away with Haven, going up 9-3 at the half, but the curse wasn't active this time as Sentinels lost the map 13-6. It was much the same story on Split, where Sentinels decided to put 10s on Sage, an agent he had literally never played before in competitive
Did it
play.
work?
He's actually played well in this series, but the Xset guys really struggled to adapt to Fnatic's precision plays, which reflected in their stats. The second map went Fnatic's way 13-7, and they had gotten their revenge. Sentinels were sent home after the first round, and
Just
Fnatic
like
had a
that.
solid game under their belt where the new additions and mainstays alike looked really good. Confidence was building within the team, but the closer they got to the trophy,
What
the
the
more
fuck?
the pressure would ramp up. And that's where the danger lies for Fnatic. You see, Fnatic had somewhat of a reputation in international tournaments for choking. Every time the
bad.
pressure got a bit too much, it seemed like the team were lost in what to do, not playing to their proper individual levels. Take
Thinking about
Masters
Paper X.
Copenhagen. Fnatic lost to FPX to finish 4th, which is a respectable result, but when you realise they'd beaten them 4 times in a row previously, you start to wonder why they couldn't when it mattered most. And at Champions Istanbul, where the Turkish crowd were fully behind Alpha and Fnatic, they couldn't even make it
And
to the
you
top
still
4 that
lose
time,
that?
losing 2-0 to Xset and 2-1 to a rejuvenated DRX.
Listen, a lot of people don't know that home field advantage is actually a thing. In terms of like a headspace, especially when the people are cheering for you and your team, it does boost your morality, you know? But again, some people might shit on you for that too as well, because they can use it as fuel. But choking like that is crazy. Choking like that, and home advantage is crazy.
It always seemed like it could be Fnatic's
Well, not home
time,
advantage, but being
just
cheered
never
on.
turned out that way. That's why so many people doubted Fnatic coming into lock-in especially. This was probably their most pressured tournament environment yet. If they couldn't do it in a double elim format, why would they be able to handle the pressure of a single elim gauntlet like the one here? But it wasn't just the format that would pile on the pressure, there was also the crowd. Lock-in was held in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
They
And
gotta
if we
be
learn
loud
anything
fans.
about Brazilian crowds, is that they really, really care about Brazilian
Yeah.
teams.
Hell
the
yeah.
passion shown by Brazilian crowds in any sporting competition is almost unmatched, and it was no different at Lock-in. We got to see the crowd out in full force for Loud in the Alpha bracket, but Fnatic would have to face another Brazilian team in their second round match in the Omega bracket, the new
Jesus.
and improved Furia. The atmosphere in the building for this game was electric, and it was clear to see why. Fnatic were coming in as the favourites, but Furia were not to be underestimated. Fnatic
fire-ass
knew that
jersey.
all too well, considering they were only a few rounds away from getting eliminated by them in the group stage of champions only a few months ago. Obviously Fnatic had made upgrades since then, but they weren't alone. Furia had also made upgrades, signing MW0, one of the most promising Brazilian players and someone who, if he had the crowd behind him, could completely change the course of this game. With his help and a great performance
That's
from Starflame
dope.
Digizin, they'd managed to take down the Korean giants of T1 in the first round. Could they pull off the upset with an entire country behind them?
Like Fnatic wanting to go aggressive straight into B. Durka trying to inject some pace into the opening of this map.
Only a fake though. Spike headed towards garage. They're droning it through. Durka has a chance to flank though. QCK's not aware.
Yes, he is. He's at least aware enough to take care of Alpha here. He's in so much trouble, man. Yeah, he's in so much trouble. Every single kill will get this crowd louder.
Fnatic
and
getting shut
louder.
down on round 1. You know, zapped every single kill. Everybody just cheering on and on. Yeah.
And that's all it's going to be. First round, Furia.
The turret will spot him, but he's isolated right now. This Seeker's coming at him as well.
Damn.
They don't wait for it. Uh-oh. Oh, Leo.
They start
Quiet
boing.
for now.
That turret just got information. Nobody really close.
Oh, MW's here not able to find anything to this Famazine playing backside. He's but two and he isn't able to get any.
The scoreline was familiar for Fnatic at the half, going up 8-3,
Oh.
but Furia wouldn't be put down without a fight. A long, long fight.
No way.
Oh, and the Visera, he's got a lot there. He's
Oh my god.
Molly is out.
the sacrificial lamb.
Oh,
No shot.
He died on the
Molly
toxin.
Into 1v1.
Leo think there's a second one coming. There's not.
Oh, the timing up from QCK. He does have another
1
Molly.
HP.
Not
He
a
put
lot
it
of
on the
time left.
spike.
I don't know that Leo can find a way in.
He's
So
2 HP?
well played by Furia. So
That was big.
Well played by QCK.
That was actually big and smart.
Viper's Pit is going to be
They had
out.
the defuse.
If they get on site, they have not considered this.
They really brought it back into OT.
You mentioned Mazine not checked. Mazine not checked. He gets 2. 3 rifles left on the side of Fnatic, however.
They've got 2 people ready to play post blind. Khalil might even have lineups for Molly's.
MW's playing all the way down long. And he takes care of Durka. QCK keeping the pit up. Overtime on the card.
Straight OT. It's an exchanging of rounds. No, now think about it. I wonder what's the longest the longest game ever. Like an actual long like imagine a game of like over OT that goes like to like round 20 something. Don't tell me this is the one, bro. They're just exchanging rounds and rounds on rounds, bro. And it's only the first round. It's only the first map.
And
It's only
after that
first map.
incredible 18-16 win on Haven, Fnatic seemed to show that they could hold on when the pressure built up. They did rely on huge individual performances from Durka, Leo and Chronicle, but they're some of the best individual players in the world. Why wouldn't you? The second map of Ascent was slightly more straightforward, with Fnatic taking it 13-9 and the series 2-0.
Oh, it's in the moment.
Furia showed great promise, but Fnatic managed to shut them down, something they might not have been able to do at this point in 2022.
How bad?
It was a good win for their momentum, and they'd need it for the next game, against the team that many thought were NA's best. 100 Thieves were cited as possibly the best North American team coming into lock-in. They'd added one of the best oppers in the world to an already great roster, and every player on the team had the potential to pop off in important moments. An impressive win at Red Bull Homeground in the off-season solidified this community perception further. Could they do the same in Sao Paulo? Their first 2 matches weren't exactly promising. They'd won them both, but went the distance against Edward Gaming and Foot, 2 teams who were touted as some of the weakest coming in. I mean, at 12-10 against EDG on map 3, it genuinely seemed like 100 Thieves were going out of the tournament. They hung on though, making it to the top 8 in this match against Fnatic. Considering the ways both teams had made it here, with Fnatic going undefeated in maps so far, looking calm and collected, and 100 Thieves looking frantic and relying on clutch plays to barely make it, Fnatic were definitely the favourite coming in, but an upset wouldn't be a huge surprise. And don't forget, this was another revenge match. Champions 2022 had seen Fnatic play 100 Thieves twice in their group, knocking them out the second time, so 100 Thieves had something to prove. Only time could tell in this battle of EMEA versus NA, and oh boy, did it.
Oh no. That's always another close one as hell.
Oh, beautiful combo. Cryo's done for.
Cryo just accepts his fate. That could have been 2 as well. Derek was a step away from being caught in that. I was wondering where the Seas was going, but that is gorgeous work. It's not bad. Point man now gone. Here comes the return. They want back in. They don't want to let them even get a plant.
God damn, what the hell just happened?
Out of place for the plants coming in. Sends it. Doesn't find it. Lou in the meantime cut down Asuna. And now the player advantage sitting with Fnatic. Make it scrappy. Make something happen. Alpha's not letting it. It's a 3v1 and Stella's been golden, but not now. Even just for confidence sake.
Nah, they're shutting down 100 Thieves
and it's just
on first map.
Bloody hell. Oh, it's all gone wrong.
And he killed himself too.
Fnatic were ravenous. They absolutely dissected 100
Only
Thieves
one
on the
round
first map,
of damn.
13-1, and Icebox wasn't much different. 100 Thieves made an attempt at a comeback after a 2-10 first half, but couldn't complete it, and Fnatic moved on 2-0. This match seemed like a statement for the boys in orange, highlighting just how much better they were than the top teams from the other regions, particularly one that had been hyped up to no end before the tournament had even begun.
100
Once
Thieves
again,
just got shot down
Durka
like
and Leo looked
horribly.
so good. Durka's performance maybe could have been expected, but Leo had only ever been to one international event prior to this. At 19 years old, he was putting up MVP performances in front of packed crowds in an incredibly high pressure environment. After this 100 Thieves game, Leo had not died first in any round Fnatic played at the tournament. Not a single first death to his name after 6 entire maps.
That's
That
actually
is
impressive.
simply ridiculous.
Yo,
But it
that
wasn't
actually-
just Leo. All of Fnatic were on fire. They'd made it to the top 4 of lock-in, beating 3 high-caliber teams on the way there. Their next opponents, though, would be a familiar foe, and the team that denied them higher than 4th place in
FPX?
2022.
Oh shit.
FPX. Well, Na'Vi actually, but with 4 of the same players before and adding CNED, it would be a storied matchup. Copenhagen saw Fnatic fall to FPX in the lower semis, despite having a 4-game win streak against them prior to the match. If Fnatic lost to them again here, those same feelings of regret would arise. With the team composed of so many cracked individuals, would they be able to take down the synergy of 5 other cracked players on the other side? Durka versus CNED, Alphayear versus Sugetsu, Leo versus Xiao,
The matchups.
Chronicle versus Zipan, and finally Boaster. Could he compete with Angel, someone he dreamed of playing against? On the biggest stage,
Oh shit.
did he belong alongside the top IGLs of Valorant? The match began, and it was time to find out. This was the
Boaster pull up with a-
semi-final,
with a
so it was a
shot
best
pack?
of
No
5
way.
instead of a best of 3 like we'd seen previously in the tournament. Fnatic banned Pearl, and Na'Vi took away Durka's Kingdom of Icebox. That left us with Haven, Lotus, Fracture, Split, and Ascent. A veto that seemed to favour Fnatic. Could they finally conquer the curse of Copenhagen?
Yeah, it's going to be on Alphayear, depending on which way he decides to go.
Something
The rest
tells
of
me it's
members
better go
of
the other way
Fnatic
around.
are on the side. Durka down in hell, bringing CNED down with them. Still staying alive, still healthy for now as Boaster joins in on the fun. The spam through the box as Angel falls. Xiao left in this 1v4. And he's being surrounded, he's being outnumbered as he's being gunned down. Durka with 3, and we're tied at 2 apiece.
Shut it down.
Leo is close by. The shock dart's there, but Boaster gets a kill right beforehand. Boaster
Fnatic
with
is
the
actually
second as
snapping.
well. 3 pistols remaining on the side of Na'Vi. Make that 2.
Hit it. There you go.
And what can Sugetsu do? Nothing.
Fnatic is actually cooking.
Fnatic. I know he is. This would be an outrageous shot from CNED, but he's not even going to get a chance to shoot it off. The kill goes in favor of Alphayear. The spike goes down for Durka. And now 4v3 with nothing but pistols on the defensive side.
3, get a 3.
Positioning not great. The
Got
spam
2.
from Durka cleans up 2.
And the only win condition here would have been Xiao to have a smoke on the spike.
Yeah.
Fnatic
Back
is.
into B, though.
Oh, but Na'Vi
They
brought
weren't
you brought it
considering
back.
this, the fact that they could still pivot. Alarm bot, maybe it'll take down Alpha.
The fact that they've still gotten this far is outrageous. Sugetsu gets 1 with utility. CNED on the tap, 49 HP. He still has the op in hand, and he goes aggressive. What a shot up from
Damn.
CNED.
Oh
But
shit. Dan, Fnatic cleaned up.
Fnatic found what they needed.
Fnatic
Xiao
cleaned
in
up.
this 1v3. Surrounded. Smoke buying some time, but no.
That was actually clean snipe of the Heady. The Heady?
I mentioned Leo
Well,
as
they
a
got
key
shut down.
factor in the 100 Thieves game, but this was the match that cemented him as a contender for the best player in the world, and 100% the best Sova.
That was
He
big.
dominated Na'Vi on Ascent, and the momentum gain there carried Fnatic through to take both Lotus 13-4 and Fracture 13-11. Na'Vi of course looked super competitive, but Fnatic
got
seemed
sweeped.
to be on a different level. Fnatic were the best team in EMEA, but more importantly, they'd made it, back to a grand final. Not only had they made
They
it
got
back
sweeped.
there, but this time they were the ones who hadn't lost a map, mirroring Sentinels' run that crushed their dreams all the way back in 2021.
This
If
one,
they could do the same
they
as
should be the
Sentinels
favorite.
and win the grand final 3-0, it really would show just how good they
Bruh.
were compared to the rest of the world. The only problem? It'd have to be against the
It's
world
Loud.
champions.
Ooh.
Well, the former world champions. Loud had come into 2023 with 2 changes that were almost forced onto them.
it doesn't even help that it's actually on Brazilian territory. So, you know the crowd is going to go wild for Loud, and especially Aspis.
Sassy and Pancada were poached by Sentinels after the team won champions, which led to the signings of Cowanzine and Tuis. They were both young players who'd been prodigies in the Brazilian eye for a while, and players who Sadak and Fraud believed they could mould to Sassy and Pancada's level. It proved to be a winning strategy, as Loud took down every team in their way to make it to the grand final. That included one of the best series of Valorant ever played against NRG, and avoiding a reverse sweep in the semis against DRX, so Fnatic weren't the only team who'd proved they could cope under the pressure. And you could even make the argument that Loud were under the most pressure of any team at the event. The crowd
They're
wanted
home
them to win
territory.
so badly, and they didn't want to let them down.
I love the
crowd
Brazilian
is one thing,
crowds.
but a Loud crowd is another. Riot even opened more seats at
I
the
love
arena
it.
specifically when Loud were playing. They knew the demand to watch them was so high. For Fnatic, that meant a grand finals with a packed, passionate crowd rooting against them from minute 1, and they made that very clear.
Damn.
For Loud, on the other hand,
Aspas put up with everything. All the pushies.
yeah. And as millions of eyes watched from around the world, the grand final of VCT lock-in began. We started with Ascent, a map that Loud had a 20-1 record on. They had literally only ever lost it to Optic in the grand finals of Masters Reykjavik, since which they'd beaten them twice on it at Champions. Loud were on their home map, in their home country, with a crowd behind them all the way.
20-1.
It was all Loud. At least, that was until the map started.
Oh,
You're going to see
shit.
Fnatic in general on this map go for set retakes. They don't like to flood in as the plant is going down. They like to be very structured, make sure there's nobody tree, clear out anybody that could be backstabbing, and they're going to realize here that all 5 players are towards site and A main.
So piece
They're
of
also
mind
on
towards Cat. Knife against it. Flash up the top. Can't detonate it though. Suppressed. Fragment Nade going to be clearing a part of that one, and now here comes the waterfall right down and out. Fragment Nade finds it.
And Fnatic just gets in there. God damn.
Laying claim to the map. Laying claim to the site. It's all down to this. Less with the most to do. Trying to spam it, and Boaster starting things up. Man's going to need a security.
Not a lot. Watching Fnatic take over a site on the map is actually very satisfying. You guys can't see because my camera's in the way, but it's actually very satisfying to see them, you know, you slowly surround A entirely and have control, and you start picking people off. Start picking players off from the angles. It's actually clean.
Detail with attempts like that. Try and take that market position. Loud wondering what's going on, and Leo goes for it. Okay, Hunter's Fury up close. And a flash play! What is that? Fnatic cooking up plays out of nowhere. And here we go. Anything but patient. It's fast. It's rapid. They want to take control of this one. Stun onto Boaster. Where is he TP into? Cuts across the angle. There's a smoke in his way, and they are none the wiser.
Boaster in deep. Boaster in deep.
Silenced here. A tap of a spike. Rotates around.
Boaster in deep.
But guess what?
So that's big 2-piece.
All reliable. And
damn, Loud.
that's the
You
cherry
be dismantled in your map.
Fnatic looks so good.
The Fnatic turning the arena into a library, but Loud have got to do the most now to try and upset that. Knives in Aspas's hand. What is the Q he's waiting for? Dashing to the side, spots a player, pings it out. 1 kill found, still got the knives. An upgrade in the weapon.
Les has cleared out B main as well.
But it's a 2v3. Make it a 1v3. Aspas just nigh impossible to keep them in the map.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I think it's picked one. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Stationary ground.
There's only 2 ways to get in that site.
And that 13th round is claimed. Fnatic.
They lost their map.
To a fantastic lead.
Leo again dominated Ascent with his patient, disciplined play. Fnatic shut down Aspas in every way possible, causing him to go double negative, which is not normal for a player like him.
Yeah.
Fracture was much of the same, with Leo absolutely dominating, only a few bullets away from clutching this 1v5.
All of that damage done while Aspas was up a drop. Literally 1 HP. A single bullet.
At 2-0 up, Fnatic looked primed to finally win the trophy they were destined for, in undefeated fashion no less. But Loud would not be swept aside. As good as Fnatic were, Loud would push themselves to be better.
If I see Leo on a site at this point, I am running the other direction.
How far they come back?
Nice enough time though. Slow was there. Now you see it. What is the play being made? Rocket the showstopper.
0 damage.
Gains nothing, and Leo just couldn't quite dodge
the
not
a single pick.
Still, the execute continues. Loud looking to try and pincer this one. Boaster, he's under assault from so many different angles. The counter spam, the punish.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere with that one.
By bullying 2Es and Fnatic. 2Es and Sadak on the A side.
Loud about to take another map.
Slow war. Pull Durka. Left, right, and center. The man's just fighting off swarms of the utility.
Cute wall play as well for Leo to get an angle, but nobody bites.
Contact, they know. Alfie is there. Les strikes back. And will he get the 4th? Yes, indeed.
Loud coming back.
A hard reclearance, but the spike was planted in the middle of all of this one. Loud. Starting to squeeze. You've got to find these kills.
Look at the push. The B main players from Fnatic are wrapping all the way around. There's flanks on flanks.
A pincer play, a pincer maneuver. On top, on the angle, and Aspas, he watches for it. 2 remain. Make it 1.
So that Loud took him out. There's a lot of verticality in the map. A lot of verticality.
Straight into C. Sadak has to be the man. The man of the hour. Prowler latches on still, but again, Fnatic, they waited out.
This is such a strange move. Fnatic under time pressure again.
They're gonna try to rotate B.
They wanted to get back into C, knowing that there was no nano swarms there, and now they have to re-hit. 25 seconds.
It's so uncertain, but it's skipping a hop over it. No
And Sadak is only one we see. No, I guess help.
Shut down.
That two piece is big.
It's all sad hack.
Oh shit! And another one.
Watch for pure reflexes, pure precision.
Sadak almost with an ace. Holy shit!
I think he's okay with it.
Dash said, what do you do? What do Fnatic do once they first get hit? Once that first punch lands, do Fnatic have what it takes to be able to rally back? At the moment, Loud are swinging.
Pure desperation. Two players fall.
Boop.
Containment. Flicked.
Another one.
Aspas might be good for two. Jiggling the movement.
He would have shot the hand. It would have been clean.
And every player falling. Loud do it.
On to game 5. On to game 5.
It wasn't Aspas that put up the game-winning performances though, rather another player from that Champions-winning roster, Les. His Sentinel play on Split and Lotus was that of a demon. Throughout the maps, the noise built in the arena, paralleled by the momentum built in the server. If Loud could carry it to the final map of Icebox, we'd get the first reverse sweep in Valorant history.
Damn!
Back on B. He's going to be that last final piece of the puzzle. But a spike denied. There's no time left.
You telling me there was never a reverse sweep
spike in
on the big stage?
It is Aspas who has to
at this moment?
And he does. Distraction in the play. And the pieces get picked up. The round gets salvaged with the spike down. It's a post blind. Chronicle move forwards. Can't quite take the fight and win it.
Alpia's still got a chance here. Sadak and Les are very weak. Does the lockdown get invested? Yes, it does. Huge investment from Sadak. Alpia, he's got off.
You're not gonna get pushed. Oh!
No time. Half on the defuse. Most of this one. What's the call to be made? Loud. They push forwards. They push deep. Cove used. Blocks up one of the angles. One of the avenues, and boast. Or I should say, Chronicle. Almost going down, Dart going wide, maybe that panic again, settling in.
You got spike down, Lise.
To the round though as time goes their way. Fnatic though, returning fire.
Major danger.
What a steal. What a kill.
Lining these players up, Reckoning has to be pulled out, has to be used to contain, has to be used to shut down, and it's all
just like that.
A safe plant and an ult online.
Those long shots are hard to hit though.
It's time to let them loose.
With the spray pattern.
Corralling, finding their targets, pushing forwards. Kawazine, nothing left unsaid, nothing left untold. And it's just a collapse.
They're having the time of their life against Fnatic. Look at this shit.
Loud with a 9-3 lead.
Fnatic is getting played with.
A scoreline that we've seen so many times before.
Oh shit.
Usually the team with 9 rounds closes it out. But this video isn't about how Loud were the first 2-time international champions,
about Fnatic.
or how they made the first reverse sweep in Valorant. It's about Fnatic. It's about a team who could bring themselves back from the brink, even when it seemed impossible. But they were destined for it.
Right, boys, this is it. I just want to hear some comms, okay? Like, I feel like our comms have just disappeared, okay? Like, if we just play like it's crap, just communicate like it's crap, I feel like we got a shot in this still, okay? Focus for this scrim, for this half of the scrim, is communication, okay?
Love that.
Pistol, and I'll carry us with the IGL in on this attack. Let's go. Okay, boys? If we don't win the pistol, I will try and carry with the IGL. Yeah, come up, let's go.
I like that. Let's go. Get pumped. Yeah. Let the team pump.
Firmly on the side of Loud.
That's a good way to put it though. Scrim.
Tail is being weaved as Fnatic.
Take the pressure off.
Yet so far.
It's been 643 days.
That's a dirty spot.
That last chance in a grand final to lift a trophy. They've been to 5 global lands since then. 68 matches. Everything is in favor of Loud to pull off our first BO5 reverse sweep in VCT history. Les, overwhelmed though, as opposed to responds.
That creates that 4v4. It's up to Fnatic not to drop the ball now. Spike going to be planted, down over the top, relieving it. Still
that's information.
Lucky to escape. Snake bite at his feet, Kawazine with the heel. Still a wall in their face. Now 2 years coming through. Cascade breaks it up, flash play, Boaster fully blinded with every shot rattled. It feels like a nail in the coffin.
Y'all pulled this off though, 2-4.
Kills found, bodies fall. Alfia and Leo, they've been amazing. They've been immaculate.
I forgot to get a good angle
But
to
this
Spike.
might just be too much. Aspas, 3 in a round, sticking the Spike, pistol is theirs.
I said it before, I'll say it again.
That's crazy, the fact they brought it up 10-3.
To 2 squads. And it does not look like Fnatic are going to join that elite group.
And then... and
On the eve of the
11-3
2023 season, Loud look to have ripped it from their hands.
on Icebox.
Possibly paved their way brick by brick.
They brought it back to 11-3. They bring this back. It's crazy to see.
He's given a hop across and just guesses incorrectly. So
That's a lot of rounds to come back from.
trying to reset the aim, wide swing. They are going to pull off the impossible. It has to be 1 round at a time.
They might pull it off. They're getting their picks. They fucking brought it back. They brought it back. Holy shit. I want to see the crowd. I want to see the crowd.
Tap on the Spike, Aspas. Jet falls, it's all down to Alfia. Noise everywhere, double swing.
The 2.
Spray down. Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Disbelief from everybody in the building.
I'd be stunned. Bring it OT. I would have collabed by Durka. And they won 14-12 on Icebox. The crowd must be extremely shocked, bro. I would have been pissed, bro. That's crazy. You almost put up the reverse sweep. You guys were ahead in the last map.
And thanks for watching.
That's crazy, bro.
VCT.
That's insane, bro. Because you guys are up. You guys were basically up 11-3 or 10-3. You guys were up by a lot. You guys were this close to taking it all and pulling up the first reverse sweep in VCT history. The reverse sweep, and then Fnatic just came back and took it. That's why, like, I probably can never play these games like very competitively. Like, I can't probably dedicate my life to rank on a game like this or Counter-Strike because of the way the round system works. You know, first 13 wins, or you have overtime. I can never do that shit because I feel like, yo, if I get hit with a reverse sweep like that, I'd be so pissed. Because, like, it's a game where momentum shifts a lot by rounds. It can shift a lot, and anything can happen. You know, it fucks you. It fucks you mentally heavily, bro. Especially in the best out of 5 series. Because when you're pulling a reverse sweep, you're going with full momentum after map after map after map after map. If you're the opposing team, you need to respond to that comeback and shut that shit down. Now Fnatic didn't exactly respond to the end, so they got very, very close. I love the end game comps. I do love hearing that kind of segment because they sound they sound like not defeated exactly, but they sound like they weren't. How should I put it? Because we didn't hear all of it. We got to hear a part of the coaches comms. So we know that they were quiet. We know they're quiet. The comms weren't there. They weren't, you know, they kind of give like those kind of defeated energy. But nah, they got back in there. Boaster got in there as well. And I do love the way how they put it that, you know, shoot it as a scrim, you know. Let's have our comms like we're scrimming. Like this is practice, shoot like that. Take some of the pressure off your shoulders. And just cook and send it, bro. Just cook and send it. And it worked. It worked that round, but next round they managed to, you know, start that spark and they came back. That shit gotta be to watch live, bro. And like it's that Brazilian crowd had to be they had to be stunned completely because Loud was going in there. They should have won that. And it's like they were going there with on full throttle, and y'all got shut down instantly. Not instantly, but like they got shut down with well, kind of an upset. Yeah, I'll give it an upset. That's crazy because honestly, one of my favorite things is to watch like Brazilian like events, like whenever Siege is there or or Formula One is Sao Paulo Grand Prix there. Cause I love the energy from the Brazilian crowds. I always love that they're so lively, bro, and so lit. So like to see the opposite must have been a crazy crazy sight. But damn though, but what a match. That's it. Why is Fnatic having elite ass matches? First thing is NRG, or well not first because this one came first. Well, we recently saw the NRG one against Fnatic. We saw some of it, a little bit of the clips here and there. But like damn, we got some close ass games. God damn. But besides that was awesome. Of course, commend with his amazing storytelling. Dramatic, but I love it. Again, I'll leave a link to the original video in his comments not the comment section, in the description down below. Go support his channel. Make sure you like his video as well. I will be doing more Fnatic. I think Kajak is one of them people I'm gonna check out as well. We got some other stories to check out. We still got some more Valorant, and also I'm gonna dive into Counter-Strike. I'm gonna check out the cheaters first. I heard Counter-Strike got some crazy ass cheating scandals in their pro play, which is crazy and interesting to see. But yeah, so other than that, hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching.